When it comes to silver screen stars, they don't get much bigger than Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe was an iconic American actress, singer, and model who became a symbol of beauty, sensuality, and Hollywood glamour. Throughout her glamorous career, the icon called more than 40 places home, moving from house to house until her untimely death in 1962. Marilyn Monroe surprisingly only ever owned one home, except the one that she died in. Stay tuned as we reveal the unknown truth of Marilyn Monroe's dynamic houses. Marilyn's personal life was marked by a series of marriages and divorces, including unions with baseball legend Joe DiMaggio and playwright Arthur Miller. Regardless of her glamorous image, she struggled with personal demons, including mental health issues and substance abuse. These challenges and the pressures of fame took a toll on her well-being. However, Marilyn Monroe's former home and houses hold a special place in the hearts of her fans, offering a glimpse into the life of one of the most iconic figures in Hollywood history. While Marilyn moved residences several times throughout her life, one of the most famous houses associated with her was her Brentwood home. Following her marriage with Arthur Miller, the couple began their relationship trying to make an everyday life in the quiet Connecticut town. Still, a clash of personalities and lifestyles soon saw the couple return to New York. 3 years later, Monroe and Miller announced their impending divorce, and the process was finalized in January of 1961. Marilyn eventually moved to Brentwood, where she bought her first home, a hacienda-style house, which sadly was going to be her last. The home was tucked away at the end of a peaceful cul-de-sac in the upmarket Brentwood area of Los Angeles. Purchased in 1961 at the age of 35, where she lived with her longtime housekeeper, Eunice Murray. The star reportedly paid $75,000 when she bought it, and now it's worth $788,000. She allegedly paid for half of it with cash and took out a mortgage for the rest, offering the actress a break from the spotlight. The home, built in 1929, featured arched doorways, original beam ceilings, and a blue tile furnace in the living room, plus a kitchen framed by a rustic wood ceiling and tiled floors that evoked the golden age of Hollywood. The Spanish-style house had a kidney-shaped pool and towering palm trees. Although Marilyn lived in 43 different homes in her lifetime, this was the only one that she bought and chose independently. She purchased it after her psychiatrist advised her to put down some roots. Monroe had named the home a Latin phrase meaning, "My journey ends here," which sadly did, as she died in her bedroom 6 months after she moved in. Marilyn described her house as a fortress where I can feel safe from the world of Monroe. Chosen for its privacy, Monroe transformed the house into a calm and secluded retreat from the world. Monroe was private about her house when a reporter from Life visited the star at home. Monroe asked the magazine not to photograph it and explained that she didn't want everyone there to see where she lived and what her sofa or fireplace looked like. In the years after this, Monroe-owned homes became the residences of at least 2 people in the entertainment industry. Hill Street Blues actress Veronica Hamill bought the house in the 1970s, and director Michael Ritchie later lived there in 2012. The home sold for $51 million, and in 2017, the home sold for $7.25 million. The house was also used as one of the on-screen locations for the Netflix film Blonde, with the death scene in this bedroom garnering condemnation from some of the fans. Decades later, new owners threatened to demolish Marilyn Monroe's historic Brentwood house. Despite this, Monroe's devotees hold the mansion in high regard, viewing it as a nostalgic pilgrimage spot where they can feel connected to the Hollywood great. The dispute over the home's destiny has been complicated. Proponents of preservation believe that it has enormous historical importance, providing a unique view into the personal life and tastes of one of the 20th century's most recognized personalities. However, other people are concerned about preserving the solitude of a house that was once Marilyn's sanctuary. Balancing opposing viewpoints has been difficult, but public uproar from fans throughout the world was critical in saving the property. Luckily, a worldwide outcry by fans halted the bulldozer. In June of 2024, the LA City Council officially designated it a protected monument. Nevertheless, before the fame and glamour, Marilyn Monroe lived in a series of houses which all held treasures of memories and a glimpse into the life that she lived as a person. Now, just at 16 years old, Marilyn, who was still known as Norma Jean, married high school sweetheart James Dougherty in 1942. The couple lived in a small apartment block for just 1 year until they moved on in 1943 to a rented bigger house in the LA San Fernando region. Now, after a brief time in the San Fernando Valley, the young couple upped sticks to Santa Catalina Island, where Dougherty was enlisted in the Merchant Marines. However, in 1944, he was shipped out to the Pacific, and Monroe had to move in with her in-laws. As Marilyn's modeling career started to take off, the couple began to have differing views over her future and parted ways in 1946, shortly after the war ended. After the divorce from her first husband, Marilyn stayed at the female-only Hollywood Studio Club for less than a year in the late 40s, a residence for women in the motion picture business. Then she rented a space in the apartment building in Burbank for a summer while the couple who owned the property were on holiday. The home was close to the Warner Brothers studio, and it was during this period that Monroe embarked on her acting career with roles in Dangerous Years and Scudda Hoo, Scudda Hey, and went to change her name to the now iconic Marilyn Monroe. After her stay in Burbank, Monroe moved into the West Hollywood apartment of actor James Carroll and stayed there for 5 months. Then, in 1949, she moved to Johnny Hyde's home, Marilyn's first talent agent. Hyde was said to have encouraged the young star to dye her hair platinum blonde. Hyde's apartment was a plush 2-story residence boasting 2 spacious yards and a swimming pool, a sun terrace, and a guest house, which is where Marilyn resided during her stay. The nearly 5,900 square foot home has 5 bedrooms and 6 bathrooms and was built in 1941. It last hit the market in 2017 to rent for $21,000 a month. It was estimated to be worth around $9.5 million as of 2024. Due to controversies about the pair's age gap and to avoid rumors surrounding her relationship with Hyde, Monroe eventually left his Beverly Hills home and moved into the luxurious Beverly Carlton Hotel, now known as the Avalon Hotel, less than 10 minutes away. After parting with Hyde, Monroe moved into a West Hollywood apartment with her drama coach, Natasha Lightas. Then, in 1952, Monroe moved into a beautiful 1930s home in the Outpost Estates neighborhood, which is still a sought-after address today. Now, don't be fooled by its modest appearance from the street. The Mediterranean-style home perches on the edge of a canyon and has sun-soaked terraces and a pool. Marilyn paid just $237 in monthly rent, which is about $2,800 today. Eventually, Marilyn married baseball star Joe DiMaggio, and the pair became inseparable. The lovebirds eventually rented a modest Beverly Hills home where they lived and ultimately divorced. Following her separation from DiMaggio, Marilyn moved into an elegant 1930s apartment building in West Hollywood, known today as the Granville, but as the Voltaire back then. The property is no stranger to celebrities. Historic and exquisite, Marilyn's 2,032 square foot penthouse apartment and the building boast gorgeous structural elements, floor-to-ceiling windows, and incredible views. Despite the building's charm, Marilyn left Hollywood less than a year after moving in. She headed for New York City, where she married her third and final husband, Arthur Miller. The newlyweds reportedly moved into a penthouse in New York's Midtown East area, and it's said to be where Miller wrote the screenplay for The Misfits, the last film that Monroe starred in. During holidays, they stayed at a rented-out, picture-perfect windmill house in the Hamptons. The quaint home is over 1,300 square feet and set over 3 floors, boasting a country kitchen with windows that look out over the surrounding lawns. The charming retreat also features a cozy living room with wood-beam ceilings and a small staircase leading to the upper floors. Upon the couple's announced impending divorce, Marilyn moved out and stayed at a plush penthouse located in the 444th East 57th Street building, which is still popular in New York City with its wealthy residents. The 1920 home also has a 1,000 square foot private terrace with spectacular riverside views of the Queensboro Bridge. She later returned to California, where she rented a home in Palm Springs. The mid-century house was a 4-bedroom home surrounded by sliding glass doors, featuring a 3,000 square foot, sleek, open-plan living space with double-height beam ceilings. This house marked the last one that she lived in before she moved to her solely owned home at Brentwood, where she sadly died. Now, Marilyn's residences provide a moving look into her life journey, which was characterized by ambition, love, and the desire for belonging. From her early hardships to her last moments, every home narrates a different aspect of her life, allowing us to consider her humanity behind the glamorous facade. Let us know which of the homes profoundly resonate with you, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one.